Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is House of Radio Biafra, London. My name remains Mazi Chika from Olo province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct, and today is the 9th day of March 2024. Tata, Bobo Chafo. Therefore, without taking any much time, I will hand over the microphone to the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Chika Edoziem, to address Biafrans and lovers of freedom worldwide. Mazi, please, over to you.
Mazi Jonathan, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwokika Abiyama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of Directorate. Permit me to say good evening to great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, friends, and sympathizers with the downtrodden people of Biafra. Good morning, good night, and good afternoon to you, wherever you may be at this very hour, depending on your time zone. I welcome you to this very, very brief but important address to the Biafran people and IPOB families worldwide. I'm going to begin this very broadcast in a very, very different manner, a way that is not usually the way I broadcast, but it is important that I follow this part this evening. Many of us, in fact, it's the zoo and Biafran land, and as well as the diaspora, is awash with the recent progress, if I'll use the word, and the recent important milestone that the Professor Nnamdi of the geometric electrics attained just very, very recently. There is a reason why I want to talk about this very issue. I want to, mention it. If those who have been following the issue of the geometric electrics, those who know the history, Professor Nnamdi was once a minister in the government of Olusegun Obasanjo from the 1999s and thereabout, the time he came into government. And he initiated this very project, let's say 20 years ago. 20 years ago, a man had a vision. He had a vision, and he wanted to bring this vision to light. He started along the line, those who do not like progress, they try to frustrate him in every way possible. The zoo, Nigeria, and all of the people who have come into government and gone. They tried to frustrate this man, but he remained tenacious. He remained unwavering. He remained focused for the vision he had. Ordinarily, this would have been for a country that was in their need of such innovative projects. Ordinarily, where sane minds and sane people inhabit, he will have gotten every aspect, every type of encouragement and support. But no, it's not Nigeria, it's not the zoo. They will kill you and kill your innovation and your ideas. But here is a man, irrespective of the challenges he faced, notwithstanding all the drawbacks, he remained committed to his project, to his idea. If any one of you listening to him when he was, one of these, it became now like usual, a circuit in the zoo. Every TV station and TV or media house want to interview him and find out how did he go. They knew, actually. They all knew why and how he took this long. And he said that normally such a project will take 3 years. It may even take less, but let's say 3 years and it will come to fruition, it will be actualized. 3 years, but it took him 20 years. You need to ask yourself, why did he stay? Where did he get the staying power to maintain, to believe in the idea he has, to believe that what he is about to do will be for the good of his people? This is the spirit, the inborn, innate spirit, the no retreat, no surrender spirit of the Igbo man, of the Biafran man, of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is the same spirit that is propelling our leader, wherever he is at the moment, in the hands of the enemy, notwithstanding the difficulties, the challenges, health-wise, the torture, and all that he has been going through. This man remains committed to the cause of the freedom of his people. Like Professor Batinnaji remained committed to the idea to make a positive impact upon his own people. As we rejoice, as even the zoo are taking everybody is now so happy about that. It is one thing to be happy about it, and it's another thing to, use the lessons of Professor Batinnaji to do some positive actions in Biafra land, and specifically in the present eastern region of the contraption called Nigeria. Batinnaji said 3 years one can set up such endeavor, such enterprise, and it will begin. It will help the people and help to propel the economy of the eastern region of the zoo. It is therefore a challenge. Now Abia State has taken the lead. We are giving the other southeastern regional governors a challenge. Don't go about wasting your time and energy on trying to please the Fulani by, you want to institute Ruga in our land. You want to, you look the other side while your people are being killed. You have now an opportunity to make an impact and to affect positively the lives of your people. The governors of Anambra State, there is no excuse. Any governor that now begins already to give you an excuse, you should know that that person didn't know why he was coming to be a governor in the first place. This was a man, Professor Batindaji, an individual, went through all the difficulties with success. Now the state governors can use their state power. Anambra State is there. Imo State is there. I'll count all of you, irrespective of the fact that some of you that call yourself governors actually do not know why you came in, because you were not supposed to be in the first place. Imo State is there, Enugu State is there, and Ebonyi State is there. You have Delta State. You governors need to do one thing, one very positive thing in the very short time you have as governors, so that you can positively affect the lives of your people. If another such geometric electrics is set up, one maybe in Enugu, another one in a Delta State, with a bigger capacity, you have covered the whole eastern region. And then you have, in fact, kickstarted the economic development of that region. It is no rocket science how actually to those who actually want to serve their people, those who want to develop their area, their land. It is no rocket science. I do not specifically want to dwell as well on the governor of Abia State, because I know the enemies. I know what, if we praise him too much now, people will say, maybe he is a sympathizer to IPOB. But I will still say it. Governor Dr. Oji, Alex Oti, beg your pardon. Dr. Alex Oti, when he want to be, he didn't start to desire to rule or to lead or to serve Abia State yesterday. I recollect the time when, after Ojus Okalo and his deputy, I can't remember the name of the one that took over from Ojus Okalo. Yes, at that time, Oti, from that moment, was already interested in serving the people. But the politics of the zoo. If you do not play their politics, their dirty politics, the way it is supposed to be played, you cannot have the chance to serve your people. But now, the gods of our land has made it possible for him to have the opportunity to showcase what he can showcase. Abia State has become the talk of the town. Not up to 1 year, this man has done what some of the governors could not do in 80 years. And more is coming. I can only tell him, dear governor, if you continue the way you are going, at the end of your tenure as a governor, when the names of M.I.O. Barras are spoken of, when the names of Desam Bakwe are talked about as people who loved and developed their land If anybody, if your name is not counted, then he knows that the enemy counted it. The way you're going, and I believe that you will continue because you came with the true heart to serve your people, and you are making a great difference in the lives of Abians and in the lives of every other person that dwells or lives in Abia State. Other governors, you have still the opportunity. You have still the opportunity to make a change. Stop pursuing young Biafran people, young men and women of evil extraction, and handing them over to the caliphate to be sent to Abuja to be incarcerated in Gwagwalada and Niger and Niger State and all these northern states. These are your people. You cannot see, you have never seen, even for the sake of argument, that any of these individuals committed crime, but they haven't committed any crime. But I'm saying for the sake of argument, if these young men and women committed any crime in Anambra State, in Imo State, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, what has it got to do with you handing them over to the Nigerian authorities to be taken to Abuja and to be tried in Abuja and to be put in prison in Niger State and all other northern states? Have you heard or have you seen any Fulani man or any Hausa man committing a crime in Kaduna, in Sokoto, and all the rest of them, Katsina? And then they would, bundle that person and send it to Enugu to be tried. Even legally, it doesn't make sense. Stop bundling your children. Stop handing your people over to the enemy to kill them, because those you have handed over, we cannot account for many of them. There is, will I call it a race among Enugu State governor and the one in Imo State and the one in Ebonyi State, who will first put Ruga in their place to please the Northern Caliphate, to please the Fulani. Are you people really normal? Sometimes when I look at these things and I read them, I can't imagine where do you guys came from? Are you going to hand over our land to a people who, once they come in, they won't be claiming to be settlers anymore? They will tell you they are indigenous there. The land belongs to them. And you know that Nigeria will not be saved. I'm telling you now, if you do not know, today is the 9th day of March 2024. Nigeria will not be saved. It cannot be saved. The nation of Biafra is going and will stand, will be restored as a nation, independent, sovereign, and will take its place amongst the community of nations. Stop handing our lands over to the north or to the Fulani. And again, stop going around destroying the properties of hard-earned Igbos. When we are telling them to come back home, look at what is happening in Abia State. If you want your people to come, we are telling our people to come back home. Those of them that have put in the effort and bought just land, residential land, to build their homes and houses. One day government will come and say, and you people are the same government that will give them the documents of ownership and the rest of it. And tomorrow, maybe because you want to satisfy some political godfathers, and they are interested in 1 or 2 plots of land in this area, you begin to destroy people's property. Some of them will come with the excuse that the land, these properties are not, they haven't finished constructing them. And what if they haven't finished constructing them? The question you should ask: these lands, have they been properly allocated to these people? If they have been properly allocated to them, so if you collect your rent and your whatever that it's due for you, land rate and everything that you do, you must not force the owner with a gun, with such violence to develop the land if he doesn't have the means to develop it. That land now belongs to them. Find your time to use to do something very, very tangible that will benefit your people, not destroying the one that people have suffered to accumulate and to erect a house. You go there, you take a bulldozer, so heartless. So heartless when we say that they are doing this thing to our people in Lagos. It breaks my heart, and it's more than heartbreaking, actually, to see a man, you take a bulldozer, just in a twinkling of an eye, you go and destroy something that somebody has used, probably all his savings to put up. In 1 hour, 2 hours, you pull it down, and you think you're a governor. Where is the humanity? Is that why you came in? Why some of you came in? Maybe because in the first place you bought your way into being a governor, because if you were not prepared from day one, if you were not ready from day one, OT has hit the ground running before you even come in to be a governor, or to be a head of state, or a president, or whatever kind of service that you want to render to your people. You must have made your homework. You must have been ready, so that once you get in, you start working. In UK, they have what they call shadow government and shadow ministers, because they already prepared. If after election they are lucky to be elected, they start working immediately. And then as you go on, because every government is a continuum and it's a project. As you go on, if there are things and need for making changes and making modifications, then you can make modification and make. Not that you will come in and you use 3 years of your 4 years only to be paying salaries, and even those salaries you wouldn't be able to pay them. Our governors need to learn that they have come in to serve the people, and not to work against the interest of the people. I advise all of you, call Professor Nnamdi to a meeting and ask him to assist you people to set up at least 2 more geometric electrics, power production, project somewhere between Enugu and another one, maybe Delta State. This will spur, and in fact, it will even hasten and encourage those of our people who are not sure, how and where they can move their businesses. This will encourage them to move them down, and it will also bring revenue to the extent you wouldn't even imagine to these governments and states in this region. There is something that is also very disturbing that I need to speak about, but although IPOB has made some press statements on this matter, but I'll say it with this opportunity that I have. If anybody is asking or anybody is planning to organize any form of protest in Biafra land for the trouble that is affecting Nigeria, please shelve such idea and such plan. Not in the holy land of Biafra land. We will not, and we do not want to take upon us the cost that is already laid upon Nigeria. Don't bring that cost in our land. You organizing any protest in Biafra land, you are actually asking, in fact, you're actually, what you're doing is that you are bringing upon yourself the anger of the gods of the land that is left for Nigeria upon our own land. And we will not allow that to happen. Please, I beg, maybe the message got clear at an initial time, but I want to reiterate that there must not be any such protest in our land. Let the gods of our land deal with Nigeria. I told them, let the gods of our land deal with Nigeria as they are dealing with them. That is a message that I have to pass on tonight to the Biafran people. In Biafra land, our intel as well has revealed that the problem of kidnappings in Biafra land is not just being done or carried out by the Fulani jihadists or Hess. This crime of kidnapping, the Nigerian army is fully a partner in this kidnapping business that is going on in our land. The intel we have is that when you, in a group of Fulani kidnappers, you will have either one or two current, not retired, but current Fulani military soldiers amongst them, presently as I speak. So why I'm saying this is that the Nigerian army, if you allow your soldiers, whether you know or you don't know, if you allow your soldiers to be part of this criminal endeavor in the land of Biafra, then when you kidnap our people and go into the bush, you also become bushmeat, because everything in the bush will become bushmeat for the Biafran people and for the ancestors, for the gods of our land. I tell you now, and I'm saying it with all seriousness, we are concentrating on making sure that our farmlands are good and safe for our people to farm. We will, of course, escalate a little bit. A time is coming when we will go after every kidnapping ring or cell in Biafra land. That is why I'm making this warning on time. Those who are military soldiers, who are soldiers of the Nigerian army that are part of this, if at the end of the day, when the time comes and you are found to be part of these kidnappings, whatever happens to you, that is your own business. This Nigerian army is a very, very confused and most corrupt institution that I have ever seen. They are unbelievable. You people must remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hands of the Nigerian government. The Nigerian military intelligence was very, very key to the kidnap and extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. Why were they involved? You know, the song that they are singing now is that they are telling our people to abandon IPOB, not to deal with IPOB, not to support IPOB, and not to have anything to do with IPOB. This is the message of the Nigerian army to our people. They are not telling the Northerners, they are not telling the West not to support Amotekun or whatever, or even the latest one that the Mieti Allah set up. Their militant group they call vigilante or Fulani vigilante nationwide. They are not telling anybody. You will have to ask yourself, why has it become almost impossible for the Nigerian army that in every criminal activity that will happen in Biafra land, they will attribute it to IPOB, even though they know that IPOB and its security network, the Eastern Security Network, we do not engage in anything that is criminal. We do not engage in any form of crime or any form of activity that will impact negatively upon our people. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the only one, even when government, during the time of COVID, when government was busy hoarding the palliative that was bought with government money and meant for the people. They were busy hoarding it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu expended millions and millions of naira to buy these, palliatives, if I use the same word, but to buy foodstuffs and distribute to the Biafran people. The question you need to ask, can someone who has such love for his people be involved in criminal activities against his own people? It's no. The answer is no. The reason that the zoo have now found it very, very convenient to begin to showcase what they think is their prowess in war. I mean, in war, they are fighting war in Osumo area, in Lille and the rest of it. That is Nigerian. You see them, they boasting when they just only succeeded in overrunning a ragtag criminal gang, and they are boasting. There is no war, they are boasting. The point you need to know is that IPOB has, for the obtained time, many times without number, not only through our press releases, which when we release these press statements, we hand them over to the media houses in the zoo. They know, they have it. Or time again and again, I've been on air, and some other IPOB leadership members have been on air to say that there are certain individuals that have derailed. They have gone completely against the principle, the fundamental principles for which the indigenous people of Biafra was set up. Our people must pay attention, because you need to understand where the enemy is going. You need to think ahead of them. That is why we have kept quiet and they are in disarray, because we know what they're thinking. We know what their next move will be. And we are working assiduously to make sure that all their plans against the people of Biafra, against the land of Biafra, will boomerang on them and backfire on them. You will ask yourself, why have they suddenly now got the means to, overrun such? You see the picture that they are bringing out in the media. Is it not laughable? a giant of Africa in quote, that for years, these son of perdition, these men of perdition, these evil men, these criminals, these I don't know what else to call them, have been there, and they couldn't do anything. No, they are working according to their own script. The point is that the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they have been able to assemble the evidence they want in order to see how they can rope in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into all this crime. These criminals in Lili, in Osumowu, in all those places, in Hitenansa, Itukwa, and the rest of them, these men, these criminals were set up and put in place by the Nigerian security forces. Do you know what they call them in their Nigerian army headquarters? When they brought out a statement, they said that in continuation, I'll read a little bit, just a line or a sentence. In continuation of the sustained operations, the JTF OP UK, whatever that means, that's Operation Udoka, or whatever they call it, on 7 March of 2024, cleared and destroyed the notorious supreme headquarters of the terrorist indigenous people of Biafra. Did you get that? And it's from its armed affiliate Eastern Security Network. Did you hear that? That they destroyed the supreme headquarters of the terrorist indigenous. When I read this, I was laughing. I was laughing because they wish they could be able, or they would be able to assess where our men, our gallant men and women, are in the bushes of Biafra land, doing what they are sent in there to do. They are not confronting the Nigerian army, but they are not confronting the Nigerian. That's not why they were sent. They were sent to secure our forest, to secure our farmland for our women, our men, and our people to be able to farm. The food crisis that is coming, what is happening now is a sharp spade to what is coming, but I'll come to that later. So the Nigerian security agency, the Nigerian military intelligence, fully participated in the kidnap and extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They brought him to court. They set up the initial group of criminals that they released when they attacked the prison yard. When they attacked and released all the criminals, they released it and then grouped them, brought them together to be the people who committed abomination in our land. When what has never been heard, that these men committed so much desecration of the land that we saw pictures that even human flesh were being, roasted and the rest of it. They were doing these were the information they were putting together and gathering against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I need to tell our people so that they must know what is coming. They did that in the first place. It didn't stick that much. Now, when they tried through the governors, I haven't said this before, and I don't know if any of the leadership members have said it in the public. When they tried through some of the governors, some of them, to take over Eastern Security Network, they told us, they came to us and said the governors came, not the army now. The governors came and said we should hand over Eastern Security Network to them so that they will be paying these young men salaries and put them on salary scale and the rest of it. And we told them, what for? That is not, we have no business with you paying our men salary because you didn't set them up. And what your plans is not the same with our own plans. We cannot hand you Eastern Secretariat. We cannot hand over Eastern Secretariat to the governor. That's what we told them. And then from then on, this was in early 2021 when Onyendu was already arrested. And when we refused that, they let their plan. They made it, they started to implement their plan of now continuing looking for evidence to rope in Mazi Nnamdi as the person who is in charge of all these criminals committing crime in our land. And we knew that was why every time, even it took us time and time again, we were repeating ourselves constantly. Even when the media, the Zoo media, who are accomplices to all the crime that is happening in our land, even when they know that IPOB is not the ones committing this crime, when we give them these, when we give them our press statements, some of them will publish it, some of them will not even publish it. They failed to take over Eastern Security Network. Now they organized the infiltrators, who are the people they use to set up this useless. If you read it, if you see the picture that they published, you see what the name of the place they gave to where they where they attacked. You will see that actually that the person whose name was written there was never a member of this great movement and can never be a member of this great movement, because IPOB, Eastern Security Network, was not set up for criminal activities, but for the protection of the land of Biafra and the Biafran people. So now they believe that they have gotten all the information they need to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And remember again, the Biafran people must remember, after the how will I now put it, the shameful and very pathetic judgment of the Supreme Court of the Zoo, we told the world that for us, where we stand is that the judgment of the Appeal Court of Abuja discharging and acquitting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is where we stand. And we do not and will not accept any further trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because we know where they are going. We know their plan. They have been planning it 2-3 years now. That plan was in making. And now they feel that they have gotten all they want. These men, this camp has become the expendable for them. Now they were able suddenly to be able to go in and attack and destroy this. Of course, it's good that they took away these villains that had been causing a lot of trouble for the Biafran people. But that is if they are not going to relocate them to another place and then begin to continue their trouble. But we are waiting for them, and we are ready for them. So do not be carried away when the Zoo army is telling you they destroyed supreme headquarters of the terrorists in the Republic of Biafra. First of all, IPOB is not a terrorist group. IPOB is a freedom fighting movement, peaceful. Our agitation has so far been peaceful, and I cannot, I'm telling you honestly, I cannot guarantee that it will always remain that way. But so far, it has been peaceful, and we will do our utmost to ensure that we get what we want in a peaceful means. Nigeria has been told what to do. They know what to do. It is the ball is in their court. For them, if the zoo wants to stop what is happening, if the zoo wants to stop what is happening to them, they know what to do. Number one, they must, as a matter of today and tomorrow, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and without any further delay. They must release him unconditionally because the court has set him free. They know how to do that. If the AGF can enter a what do they call it? A all this, I can't remember the Italian, the Latin name, but non-prosecute or whatever. I think something like that. That they entered for Igboho. They can enter it for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the first step. And the second step, for the trouble that is afflicting them to stop. The second step, the destiny, I'm telling them, they have been told. It's not that they haven't been told. The second thing that they need to do is to organize a UN observed referendum for the Biafran people. We, the Biafran people, must decide through a referendum whether we want to remain with a contraption called zoo, where our talents and innovations can die the following day, or whether we want to live in a new independent and sovereign Biafran nation where our children will live in dignity and in honor. The zoo must do this. They have no choice. They have these two things to do. If they refuse to do it, I remember I was on air in December, and I told them 2024 will be a different ball game. 2024 will be a different ball game. Some of you may be expecting our men to begin to, confront the zoo. My brothers, this battle, ndị Igbo na-asị that na onye buru chi ụzọ mee gịnị ọgbagbuo onwe ya n'ọsọ. Onye bu chi ụzọ ọgbagbuo onwe ya n'ọsọ. If we have, anyway, I wouldn't expose that much now. But what our people must understand that it hasn't come to that. It may come. It may come if Nigeria remains as often as they are. That may come. But first of all, Chukwu Okike is telling them what was done to Pharaoh in those who believe in the Bible. What was done to Pharaoh is what will happen to the zoo. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them. He told them. And they did not listen. They thought he was joking. What will happen to the zoo? He said, yeah, Somalia will be better. So even Somalia will be heaven for them. If they remain obstinate, if they remain, I'm not giving you any threat. I'm giving you an expo, actually, how you can sort your problem out. If you remain obstinate to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and not to let the children of Chukwu Okike to go, what is coming for you? The ear that hears it, it will tingle. Today is the 9th day of March 2024. Like I said last year, December. 2024 will be a very, very a decisive year for the Biafran people. And I want to use this opportunity as well to tell our people to be patient. You have to be a little bit patient. Don't think this is just by your power. It is not by your power. We have found the key to our freedom. And our ancestors are fully ahead of us, with us and by our side. We act and we walk as they direct us to do. IPOB is a freedom fighting movement. I want to repeat. Now, I want to quote a very important statement from the sage, the great sage, Professor Chinua Achebe. He said, and I quote, "One of the truest tests of integrity is the blunt refusal to be compromised." One of the truest tests of integrity is the blunt refusal to be compromised. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has shown integrity, and the IPOB leadership, we have shown integrity. We will not compromise on the fundamentals of this very struggle. Our demand is simple, and it is just one demand: the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the conduct of the referendum for the Biafran people. Our freedom cannot be negotiated. Our liberty cannot be compromised. And I can assure Biafrans worldwide and the family of the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide that these we have taken oath to protect. And this we will do. I want to tell you something. Many of you may not have been aware of this, or maybe you are aware, but you are expecting it to happen in a different manner. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, before he was criminally kidnapped and extraordinary rendition to the zoo by the Buhari regime. Permit me to take some water, please. When he was, taken and forcefully and criminally rendition to the zoo, he said, in one of his broadcasts, he said that he needs 100 men. 100 men, both literally and otherwise. Many may not have understood what he meant, and many may not have understood the timing of what he said. We are in that time. I could remember I mentioned this once, but I'll mention it again. We are in the time where the 100 men is being sieved out of the shaft. This brings me to commending all of you who are hardcore to the core. The IPOB family members who, despite the challenges that we have passed through, notwithstanding the difficulties that we encounter, you have remained faithful to this very cause. Through your own personal sacrifices, whether by way of idea, by way of support, by way of financial support, by way of taking part in our activities, you have not been led astray. Many of you who have used one excuse or the other, and the leadership did this, the leadership sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leadership didn't do that, and they didn't do that, and you have used it to take yourself out of the 100 men. I'm telling you, we are in that moment, and we are not begging you to come back, because the Spirit is working and sifting the main men out of the chickens. They are sifting the wheat from the shafts. They did not know. They did not know, and they couldn't understand because they did not have the Spirit in them to understand that they say that you have to, gold or silver has to pass through fire for it to be pure. You who have remained faithful and obeying the command of this leadership as Onyendu has given it to us, you are passing through that fire with us. And I want to commend you and ask you, stay in a little bit while. we are coming to the ending of this very matter. That towards test of integrity you have shown by not compromising our core principles. That tenacity that Professor Nnamdi has exhibited in despite the challenges he went through, many people will have thrown in the towel if they were in Professor Nnamdi's shoes. They would have said, "Oh no, I can't take this anymore. What is all this?" All the energy that you already invested, the finances you invested, many will have that project will have gone moribund. But that is the Biafran spirit I'm talking about. That you found this struggle has been 10 years or thereabout, and there are people who started it from the beginning, and they are still here. I want to encourage you to remain just a little bit longer while. A little bit, stay a little bit longer, and you shall reap the good of your hard work. Our people in Biafra land, you have no choice than to support IPOB and the Eastern Security Network. These men and women, operatives in our land, they are the last line of our defense. What the enemy is trying to do is to divest you of that last line of defense that you have, which is the Eastern Security Network. Then you will be laid bare. You'll be laid bare so that when they come, they will take you, without any resistance. That is what they had. A professional army went to a market in is it or so or whatever in those areas, and they are dancing. They are dancing and telling you, even printing posters to tell you to abandon IPOB. If you abandon IPOB, who will save you? If you abandon Eastern Security Network, who will save you when they come? Because they will come. But like I said, we are here. We are here. We have refused every entreaty to compromise our integrity and to compromise this very heaven-ordained struggle. We have rejected them. Mazi Kanu has rejected them. You cannot do more. I mean, our people now, the least you can do is to give support to these very, very men who are laying down their lives on a daily basis. We do not speak what happens. They know. The zoo knows. When they know our, the zoo knows who is in this ESN. They know. And I will leave it at that. And I won't say more, but they know who ESN operatives are. They know what they do, what they can do. It's not these criminals that they set up themselves, and then after a while they have become, they are no longer useful. You went there and then destroyed them. That is not ESN. So those IPOB hardcore family members remain as committed as you have remained, and our people in Biafra land, these men are your only protection, and they are only your defense. Don't listen to the zoo and make a mistake. But even if you do listen to the zoo, you cannot stop the coming of Biafra. Whether any one of you who says you don't support ESN, you never supported the ESN up till now. But why I'm making some emphasis on this is for you to know, to see the trick of the enemy. They are trying to make you say IPOB is again. How can we be against our people when in fact the foundation of our struggle has our people as the objective? That is the well-being of our people, the freedom of our people, the liberty of the Biafran people is the foundation of this very movement. There is one thing that I want to say before I bring this very broadcast to an end tonight. There is hunger in the zoo. But this is just a child's play to what is coming. Many of you can as well remember, I was here last year when I told our people, our own that is my own, the leadership of IPOB, our duty is when we get a message, we deliver as we are asked to deliver. I was on this very hallowed platform last year, and I told our people, go and save the little money, any little money you have extra, save it in any foreign currency at your disposal. I listed some of these foreign currencies to you. That was long, almost a year now, before this quagmire that the zoo is in. I came on air, I gave you that message. People, those who took it serious, they can attest to what is happening now. The gods of our land will always seek for the benefit of their children. And now I have another message for you tonight, the 9th day of March 2024. I have another message for you, Biafran people. Ndị Igbo si that na aka aja aja mere gịnị metelu ọnụ mmanụ mmanụ. What am I saying? A hand that cultivates the land or that tills the land will not go hungry. We must go back to the farm. I already have mentioned this 1 or 2 times before, but this message is more important, more forceful now because of what is coming. I have already said that apart from the fact that the security, the food security is our national security as a people, I am telling you now what is coming. The hunger that is coming in the zoo, what you have at the moment is a child's play. This demonstration that they are demonstrating, they are just starting. They haven't really started demonstrating because hunger is coming. Therefore, IPOB is taking the bull by the horn. We are taking this bull by the horn. What we are going to do, what the IPOB leadership has decided to do, is that we are going to secure seeds of certain farm crops and distribute them free of charge to our people in the villages, so that you will not say that you do not have the means, or you do not have the seed to plant, or that you do not have the crop to plant. IPOB, like Onyendu did during the time of COVID, we are going to take it another step further. He has led the way, and we are following. We are the IPOB that you know. It is this same IPOB with its security arm, the ESN, that the zoo is telling you should not support. It is we. I have said that it is the interest of our people that brought us to leave all that we are doing for the past 10 years to seek for your well-being, for your freedom, and for your liberty. Therefore, knowing and seeing what is coming, we have decided to procure as many as we can. We are not rich. IPOB movement, we don't have so much money, but we can. We will do as much as we can. What we are going to do in the coming days and in the coming weeks is that we will procure these seeds and distribute them. Please, we are not coming to Onitsha main market to distribute seeds because you're in the city. You don't have any business. But we want to tell those who are in the city, those who have land that has not been cultivated, go back and cultivate it and go back then to your city and continue your business. That plant, that food you planted now will come handy in the next 6 months. It will come handy in the next 6 months. And while we are on this, I am appealing to the governors of the eastern region. In fact, not only the eastern region now, I mean the whole of the eastern region, the Biafran states, from Ebonyi to Delta to Bayelsa to Rivers and name it, all of you, all your governors, what I'm asking you to do tonight, Abia State Governor, I know that you will not fail your people, that your name, that the poor people will continue to talk about you. Anambra State Governor, that the people will talk about you. Enugu State Governor, Ebonyi State, Delta State, River State, all of you, go and procure this. We heard that government, give these things, federal government. I don't know how true that is, but whether it's true or not, don't hoard these things if the government gives you, or go and resell it. That is not what it is meant for. And what we are providing for our people, it is not for sale. It is not to be used to, maybe somebody will say, that he doesn't have anything for him and his children to eat, and you use the beans or the corn and prepare power for your children. No, think about the long term, or the medium term, or the short term, not even the long term, the short term. Think about if you plant maybe 2 corns, it will give you more than let me say now, it give you more than 5,000 corns. Because one head of a corn, you know how many seeds of a corn is there. So when we give you the little we can give you, any land that has not been used, anyone who has a land that is not using, go and plant something there for the next 6 months. You will use it. If you cannot plant, give it out to somebody who can plant. At the end of the time, when the harvest will come, he will come to appreciate you with the produce of the land and say thank you. Thank you for making sure that for the next couple of months, he and his family will not starve. And when we do this, there will be surplus, and the food prices in our land will be affordable for those who do not have so much money in their hands and in their pockets. This agricultural revolution in Biafra land must start tonight. Governors, if they are not listening, those their aides who are listening, we are making this appeal to you. Join this IPOB leadership in this project. Whether you join us also or not, it doesn't matter. But we have taken the step of what we're going to do. And in doing that, there is something again we have to do. Some will say every time Edoziem comes on air, he's talking about he's coming with the kola ritual. Yes, I come with my kola ritual again, if you can call it that. We have to do something again that we used to do. We must again call upon the gods of our land. We must again call upon the spirit of our ancestors, that they will continue to pile the pressure against the zoo. And they will continue, of course, to bless the land of Biafra. Go and buy the Igbo kola. Buy it again for 4 days. Igbo kola, please. Don't buy Hausa or Yoruba kola. This is not part of our culture. It may not be accepted by the ancestors. Buy Igbo kola. And for 4 days, if those who can afford to throw libation, all the Akajiofos in Biafra land, you have a work to do. If you can afford to throw also a libation in addition to the cola, buy a hot drink in the morning, start on the Eke day, call upon the land, Adanala Biafra, call upon it, that their children is about to plant. They should prosper the land. Call upon them, hand our leader into their hand. They should protect him and bring him out according as their promise. Call upon them and tell them to continue to war against the zoo who are holding down their children. Do this from Eke on the first day, on Ore day, on Afode, on Nkwode. If you cannot afford the throwing libation, just the four market days, buy four cola nuts and do this. And then the Akaji of us, you know how to do this better than anyone else. This is what we have to do, because as in our language, Ekenoyen and Komel, we must continue to work in synergy with our ancestors, with the gods of our land. We can no longer make any apologies to say that we honor our ancestors. We do not hide that anymore. We cannot hide that anymore. So that is my message to all of you tonight. Now, May 30th is coming. May 30th, the Biafran Heroes and Heroines Day is around the corner. Gowon himself admitted in public that he started the 1967 genocide that annihilated over 6 million of your people, of our people, of Biafran. 6 million. In fact, the numbers are higher. If you ask the Irish missionaries that were in our land during this horrific time, they will tell you that the numbers are unbelievable. But the international media, they haven't spoken about it. Don't worry, they will at the time, at the appropriate timing. Like Oyendu says, timing is key to what we do. And timing and the way the gods work is not the way humans think or the way humans work. They are at their own appropriate time. The world will offer apology to the Biafran people for the killing of more than 600 million of our people. So why I'm mentioning this now, of course, more information and more directives will be coming as days go, as the day progress, as we come closer to 30th of May. Those of us in the diaspora, what you need to do is to begin now to seek and ask for permissions for your rallies in your respective centers or capitals of the countries where you reside in. We want this, if possible, in the capitals where you reside in, and all areas where you know that most of these international organizations are domiciled or headquartered. We must begin now to get the permissions to rally on those very days, on that very day, and in these very cities around the world. Like I said, as we draw closer, further informations will be made and further directives will be given. The take tonight to all of you great Biafran people, wonderful IPOB families worldwide. The take tonight is that we must resurrect that no retreat, no surrender spirit of the Igbo man, of the Biafran man. No, Yeah, look at I'll use again the geometry. Use Professor Martin Naji as your example. If you're looking for an example, use Mazi Nnamdi as example. Despite the trouble he's passing through, use him as an example. In fact, use as well the young men and women in our bushes, use them as example, those who have denied themselves of every comfort. I cannot commend them enough. Of every comfort, they are still in the bushes and they are protecting the land. We have made the land safe for our people to plant so that, you see, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Chukwu shall be glorified. Him alone shall be glorified. And of course, the ancestors, we shall thank them for their mercies. He formed ESN at the time he formed them because he knew what is coming for the zoo. Now, these young men have made it possible for our forests to be safe, to be planted again. Do not say, you do not have any further reason not to do what he needs to do. All of us, let that farming, agricultural and farming revolution in Biafra land start tonight. And with this, I want to thank all of you for listening. And I want to thank Chukwu Abiyama for his mercies upon us. I want as well to thank the gods of our land and the spirits of our ancestors for their guidance and protection over our leader. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the zoo has two things to do. If they want to, extricate themselves from this very trouble that is about to fall on their head, they must release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and without delay. And then they must allow us to freely choose whether we want to remain in a quagmire that is the zoo, or whether we want to live in dignity and in honor, with integrity, in a land of the free, independent, and sovereign state of Biafra. May Chukwu Abiyama bless all of you. May he guide and protect each and every one of you that has listened tonight to this very message. Like I said, when we receive, our duty is to pass on the message to our people. I want to put in a word of caution or a word of advice. Dr. Oti, you must be strong, because today that I have called your name on this program, on this hallowed program, don't be surprised the attacks that will come your way. But I know that the God of the land is with you, and you shall continue to do the good things that you're doing for the Abia people, for the Biafran people, for the Igbo people. Because if it is good for Abia State, there will be the point from which other states must, take a cue and do what has to be done. From me, from here, I want to say to all of you, thank you for listening and good night.